to the hippocampus, dude. Come on, man.
It's supposed to be healthy, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
You lose calories.
It's a marriage thing, Luis.
Yeah, I know it's a marriage thing.
You wouldn't understand.
I do understand. I was married for 27 years, man.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I know exactly.
Yeah, the shit that you know.
Okay, we're live.
You're
live.
so
live.
much with each other that.
All right, we're live. We're live with one.
You know what I mean? You spend so much time with each other that your conversation is just interesting. You know what I mean? Or you run out of topics, I guess. So. You know what I mean? You spend so much time with each other.
So there's a little delay. Remember that.
Okay.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome to OC Biz Live, formerly FTP Live. Here's Carlos, fucking Mike Trout.
We're bringing back FTP, guys.
Oye, güey, pareces que te trajeron de pinche Sinaloa, güey, para que juegues con los Angels, güey.
Yo me pongo ahí afuera del Angel Stadium a ver si me mira, güey. Maybe they'll pick me up and I can go in there and be a coach.
They're going to fucking pick you up, and they're going to pick you up to be one of the fucking ushers, güey.
I don't give a shit. Anything I could get in there and help these guys. Hey, but we beat Boston yesterday.
They're playing Boston right now?
Yeah.
In Boston or here?
At Boston, bro. Adele had 2 home runs, bro.
Really?
Yeah, so... I'm telling you, this team is like...
So did I tell you there's a plan in July to go to Boston and go watch Boston versus the Dodgers? Tell me you're fucking in.
No, I can't.
To
watch the Dodgers.
That's what me gusta.
I would not spend money on that. You know that.
We're gonna go, but we're gonna beat Boston now, bitch.
I would love to go just for the experience in July. What?
July. It's like the middle of July.
Let's talk about that off camera.
I'm gonna drive that Suburban that Kike left.
Oh,
all the way to fucking Chicago.
Okay, that saves us money, and then we just need our airfare back. Because dude, it's
because I don't have a real ID. Wait, no me van a dejar subir al avión.
No, all you need is your passport.
I don't have a passport either.
It
already expired.
¿La matrícula?
No, ni green card thing.
Tampoco. Vamos a ir a la Bishop, ahí sacamos las que tienen. Todavía venden ahí.
Ahí en el consul.
Yeah, like, what do they sell there, bro? On right there where the Dollar Tree's at. Also known as Chopper Rancho.
La Embajada, güey. La Embajada. It used to be Chopper
Rancho Santana. If you grew up in Santana, that was Chopper Rancho forever, right? Yeah. Forever, bro. Like, ahí ibas y comprabas de todo.
What's up, Juan?
What's up?
We got our guest on already. Juan
What's
Garcia.
up, guys?
What's going on, Juanito?
Nothing, just right here at home. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Staying busy, after the tragic, the incident, the car accident. But I got a lot of gigs, so I'm staying busy. But I took like a week and almost like 2 weeks off because I was just like in bad pain. But I still had to get out there,
I hear you, brother. You still got to go do your thing. So, well, we're happy that you're alive. You know what I mean? That things are going your way and that you're recuperating. What injuries did you sustain? Is it just your hands or anything else? Or
mostly the major one was a dislocated thumb. But the doctor was able to pop it back in place at the emergency room, and then
with Kobe way they popped it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've seen that on his finger. Then I like Kobe now.
Yeah,
you need to fuck up your
ACL.
ACL, yes,
your Achilles.
That's the end of my. That's at the end of my career.
Free throws.
You gotta make the free throws.
Yeah, at the end of my career, I'll mess up my Achilles.
When you're comedy show. Yeah.
So Juan, tell us a little bit about who you are, man. We're obviously doing this interview here, guys, for Juan and Sancho Sanchez that had this accident, like he was talking about. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Juan. I mean, we know you pretty well because we've hung out with you.
Well,
but for the people out there that want to come on Sunday, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I mean, I met you guys through comedy, a few years back, but I've been doing stand-up since I was a 16-year-old. So, I started at a very young age. And then from there, I started opening up for like big names like Jeff Garcia, Carlos Mencia, Tommy Davidson, Felipe Esparza, Joe Coy. Paul Rodriguez is going to be at the show. That's another guy that I got to open up for in the beginning of my career. And it's crazy, full circle. I remember being 12 years old and watching Paul on TV and saying, man, I wish I could meet that guy one day. And then fast forward, when I was like 16, I'm at his house and he's giving me advice. And now look, with this incident, with this tragedy, he's coming to help. Like he's coming to help us. So
Yeah,
it's crazy that I put in all this work over the years, and all the people that were there in the beginning of my career are here now helping, so that's the crazy part. And but yeah, stand up is probably the only thing that I went out for, like since I was young, and that decision, that bold move, it got me to where I'm at now, where like I get dates and I get booked without even trying sometimes, where I'm just like, I'm getting calls like out of nowhere, like, hey bro, you want to do this gig? And so my schedule's always full, and it's because I put in so much work over the years. But
nice,
but
nice.
yeah, man.
On your Instagram, we saw the on tour, not on tour, right?
Yeah.
Type of thing. I mean, you're on tour, but not really. But you're booked that often, because I mean, how long you been doing comedy for, Juan?
So I've been, man, 24 years since 2001. I started
24
I,
years.
Damn.
That's cool.
like Kobe, straight out of high school, dude. Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to the pros.
You skipped college, huh? That's how good you
That's
were
how
at
good.
college.
Oh yeah, Juan. So when you decided to do that, is that something when you were growing up? This is not on. You want me to turn it on? I can turn it on so you get some heat.
Like, believe it or not, I felt like my leg was burning, but
That's because you're
my
sitting. That's because you're sitting next to me,
I'm
dude.
not wearing my long socks
It's
today,
because
guys.
the
Sorry, go
Angels
ahead.
are on a hot
So when you
streak
were
right
like
now.
in high school and stuff, was that like something you wanted to do? Like, I want to go be a stand-up comedian. Was that like what you wanted to do when growing up? You know how sometimes when you're like in the second and third grade, what do you want to be, mijo?
I want to
Like
be
me?
like,
I put down I wanted to be a cop, and I'm on the other side now.
Thank God, thank God, thank
Juan
God.
could put like, we want to be like the or something
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean?
No, well, what's crazy is that I never, really, my siblings, my older brother, he's a doctor in education, USC grad from the Claremont colleges. So my older brother set the standard really high, and it's kind of like, yeah. So for me, they wanted me to be like exactly like my brother, but I was more like, nah, I'm not. That's not my style. So around like probably like 11th grade, I was watching Eddie Griffin, that comedian, and he inspired me
Yeah.
to do stand up, and I was like, dude, I want to be like that guy. And then I joined the comedy camp, the Laugh Factory
You know what
comedy
they say?
camp.
I've been pimping, pimping.
Huh? What happened?
He's the one that said that. No, he's a pimp. He's been pimping since pimping been pimping.
I think so. Yeah, he came out in that movie Undercover Brother. He
That
came
one
out on a
movie.
lot of stuff.
Deuce Bigelow.
He's funny, dude. That
Because
guy's
Yeah.
funny.
with Deuce Bigelow, he came out on that movie. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
go ahead,
So
Juan.
that one, yeah, that one exactly, him. And so he's the one that inspired me. Then I joined the Laugh Factory comedy camp, and then from there I met Jeff Garcia, and then so I was able to skip like the open mic part of the process. You know how some young comics have to go through the open mics before they get discovered. Like I got discovered way before I entered that, so I was in a sense kind of spoiled because I got brought into comedy like right away. But that's because I was funny. I'm way funnier now, but back then it was actually like it was good enough to get picked up by guys that were already established. So that's where Jeff Garcia comes in, and he helped me out a lot. And then, like I mentioned, Mencia helped me out, Tommy Davidson, Joe Coy, like so. It was just a decision I made
You
at a
work with
young
all the
age, and it
greats.
just what happened.
He said you working with all the greats.
Yeah, dude. And Paul, and this was just a decision I made. This was a decision I made like out of the blues. Like I was like, well, let me try this, and then and it just and look at me now. Like it was just something I did, and it just worked out.
Well, I mean, I've known you for at least what 10 years, I would say, at
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
least. And I mean, I thought you were hilarious the first time I saw you. I mean, just nothing personal against you, but just your appearance alone, you know. I mean, and you're a stand up, like just getting up on stage, you know, it's comedy already. But I gotta say, your comedy has just gotten way much better every single time I see you. You know, I saw you at the Laugh Factory with Paul Rodriguez, and I thought that night you killed it, bro. Like that was probably one of your best sets that at least I've heard,
Yeah,
you know, and all that. But I've seen your growth in comedy and just become a professional. Even with our shows, that sometimes our audience is kind of tough. You know, we get some tough audience, and I remember one time, you know, you just your tenure of being a comedy showed on there because you were able to keep the show going. You were able to get people that we can't even get a laugh. You got them to get laugh, you know.
Yeah,
So we definitely are very excited to work with you again, and especially with the show coming up, you know.
yeah.
So tell us more about you and Paul Rodriguez. But before
well,
you do that, I do want to give shout outs to Almita Mora, Luisa Orendain. Thank you guys for watching in, tuning in. Please share the show. Let everybody know we're here talking to Juanito, guys. Thank you, guys.
well, no, I mean, the first time I met Paul was you remember that's when the Latin Kings of Comedy was really popular. Remember Joey Medina, Alex Raimundo, Paul, and then I forgot who the other guy was. It was Cheech, right? It was I think Cheech Marin.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that I and that was like in 2001. So I met Joey Medina was hot at the time, and that was the new young comic. So Joey Medina's like, hey, we're gonna do a show in Calexico. He's like just meet me at my house and we'll drive there. But before we left to Calexico, we drove to Hollywood to Paul Rodriguez's house, like it's a nice house. And going back to like I remember watching that movie A Million to Juan. You guys remember that one? A
Oh
Million
yeah.
to Juan, even Born in East LA. Like I used to watch those as a
Yep.
kid. And then the crazy part is like years later, I'm at his house and he's giving me advice about comedy. And then the crazy part is, we he gave me advice, and then he's like, "Hey, let's head out. I gotta go pick up my car." And we went to the Hollywood Hills, and we went to go pick up his car at Art LeBeau's house. So that's the first time I ever met
What?
Art. Yeah, I guess he had a
That's
night out
cool.
with Art LeBeau, and he had left his car there, and we went to go pick it up. Yeah, and yeah,
He was partying
and
with the viejito, huh?
yeah, and then dude, and the crazy part is that his son P Rod, like the famous skater,
Yeah.
me and him are the same age.
Skateboarder, yeah.
We're both
Oh,
yeah,
really?
we're both 40 years old, so it's kind of like I'm kind of like the same age as his son. So
You're like the son he never had,
yeah, the son that no, I'm like the son I wanted him. I wanted to be his son. Yeah, so
right?
but
Yeah,
yeah,
there you
dude.
go.
But
Qué
yeah, no,
bueno, qué
I've
bueno.
known.
Well,
Huh? Go ahead.
no, go ahead. It's because we
Oh,
got a little delay, Juan. So go ahead.
okay.
I'm used to this again.
Yeah, he hasn't done it for a while,
My
but there's a little
timing.
delay from the live to that. So, but yeah,
Oh,
go ahead, go ahead.
no. So no, I've been in comedy a long time. That like I would run into Paul here and there, but we didn't really talk. And then I ran into him at the Mas Locos taping not too long ago, and and we talked for a little bit. And then for him to say yes to this show is like you think people don't remember you, but they do. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, I'm
Well, I was
grateful
the
that
one
he.
that got this done. He went out and met him at the what Laugh,
Well,
Laugh Factory.
I'm not gonna take the full credit for it. It was Nishi.
Oh, that's right.
Happened to get on that same show you were with him, right? Remember when you invited us to go over? And Luis was supposed to come
Yeah.
that day, but he couldn't make it because he was doing a show. When we
Uh,
get there, uh, believe it or not, we had a surprise comedian that day. Willie Varsenya showed up. You know, Willie's been killing it out there, and I text Nishi when she was back there. Hey, ask Willie if he wants to join the event, and then she says back, "Too late. We already got Paul Rodriguez." You know what I mean? So it was really Nishi. I was over there, and then when I went back there to meet Paul again, and I told him, "Hey, Paul, he's a big golfer." You know what I mean? So we'll see if we can get him out to the golf course. But I thanked them for saying coming out, supporting you more than anything. He's like, "Yeah, yeah, man, let me know," and they connected. So, now we're excited about this big event happening Sunday. We did have some folks that are a little some backlash, I would say.
Yeah, for some reason there was. I don't have those people on my Facebook or my social media, but I guess there was been some posts about certain things about boycotting because he's done some political stuff in the past, but whatever it is. But the way that I answered that was, this is a fundraiser.
Right.
This is a fundraiser for somebody that we know. So leave your political shit on the side.
Right.
This is fund, and we don't call it a fundraiser. It's a fun.
It's a fun
raiser.
racer.
That's what it is. We're gonna have fun, and you're gonna have to
Yeah.
laugh, great food, great atmosphere.
And that's what we wanted to clear up too, because I have these folks on my Instagram, and at first I was gonna be a little abrupt with them, but that's not who FTP is, right, for the people. So I actually reached out to them and said, look, man, whether you guys try to boycott or not, you're impacting more the business, right? Because if less people go to Spoons, what's owned by a Latino, that means that the employees there make less money, right? So really, they're impacting more the people they're defending than Paul Rodriguez, and I've seen Paul. Yeah.
Somebody was asking me how
we
he
lost
was.
one. Oh, he's back. Yeah, he's 70 years old. So like when he's doing comedy, I feel like he's just going through his brain and trying.
I know. The last time I saw him, he was like up there, like I was.
Yeah, but
it comes back to him.
Like he's 70 years old, bro. Like, think about how many different types of sets this guy's done in his life.
Yeah.
To remember all that stuff. And to come out and piece it together. And I mean, that takes craft, and that's just
The last time the last time I seen him at the Mouse Locals taping, he was hosting. He killed, dude. He killed. And it wasn't with political. It wasn't with political stuff. It was just like regular stuff. Like so, dude. So for the people worried about that, I don't think that's his main focus. Like I think maybe those are hot topics at the time, and he talks about it just like any comedian, like any one of us. I mean, the thing is that I could have said that, not that I did, but no one's gonna care about my opinion. It's only because he's up there that people wanna like. There's more of that, Because if a lower level comedian, an open micer said it, they're just like whatever. But I think because of the status.
To you, Juan. I'm just kidding. Nothing creas. You know what I mean? No, but to me, it's just it's the whole having to go through all that instead of supporting. And we were just last week at an event with Mr. Temple, and if you guys know who Mr. Temple is, this guy owns I don't know how many businesses, something like 100 businesses. This guy is loaded, from Mexicali, from Baja California, came over here, making it, and he's putting events together for Latinos and Latinas. Actually, is happening this week on Thursday. So if you're a Latina, you want to go to Keisha House out in Brea, formerly known as Taps. Remember, right in the corner there. But that's something that I told this guy on. I go, you know what? We got to cut this political bullshit aside, and Latinos, we got to work together.
Y ya la cagaron, güey, los latinos que votaron por Trump. So yeah, you can't do anything now. Well, it's like I'm sure they're regretting it now.
But look, bro, but see, we got to get off of that, man. Because did you feel the same way when it was Bush, or the first Bush, or the second Bush, or it was Ronald Reagan, who, as a matter of fact, because it was a Republican, and because of him, a lot of Mexicans have amnesty, bro. And I'm not trying to get political, but I bring awareness on both sides, of parties, because we got to see what they're both doing. Yeah. But at the end of the day, Latinos, I mean, we're the first ones to get picked on for everything, right? We're the scapegoat. Why? Because we're the neighbors. Somos los vecinos, no, pinches vecinos siempre la cagan.
Yeah.
Right? And this is why, remember, you and I started FTP for that reason, to showcase and highlight successful Latinos. And we were doing that, and we're going to start that. Yeah. So, this is what this event is about. So I know those guys, I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to invite them, come over, man, and be part of this event. And then we'll help them, because I think if it gets to, and I don't think it will get to the point, we need to work together to be able to be a strong community. Otherwise, we're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, I think
if you think about it, trying to boycott something for Trump, that which it's not. Obviously, you've seen my post on Instagram and all that. I nobody here is possibly going to say we're supporting him. It's one of those things, like you said, Juan. So he's such a big star that if he ever said he supported him or helped him out and help him out, or Latinos for Trump, that's why they're going after him. But like I said, this is a fundraiser.
Te voy a decir una cosa ahorita, and this is where Latinos, their political views are going to change, because how many Latinos you and I don't know that are making a lot of money, bro?
Mm-hmm.
That are wealthy Latinos. I'm still under $100,000, so my views are different. But once you start making $500,000 or over $1,000,000, your view starts swaying a different side,
Yeah.
which is going to
Well,
be the Republican part. Like
you start to hang out with people at your level, like at that level, at the financial level, and then, like you said, at that point of the pyramid, like they think different because it's like, they exclude
it's about
you.
financial responsibility, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Because I feel that people are more sensitive now because everybody has an opinion on social media. Like, remember before social media, we had our opinion, pero ahí se quedaban. But now it's like you could post it, you could repost it, you could share
Everybody's an
it.
expert on everything now, bro.
Yeah, so
You can
no,
repost
yeah,
somebody's stuff, And then the other thing on social media, everybody now is a wellness coach or a life coach. And
it's a,
No, it's not that. Is that everybody? This is how we live in a world now where I prove you wrong or right with the meme.
Yeah.
Before it was with an essay, bro, an argument, research. I had to go to the library and look up, and now it's like I just put a picture and that's it. And I'm right.
dude,
Somebody
yeah.
asked
You know
me,
what I mean? It's like,
how I my tips of today.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me, he's like, why do you put those up? I just put them to fucking inspire you to think about certain things. I'm not a doctor or some kind of psychiatrist. I just like, oh man, that's interesting. I like that. Boom. Tip of the day. That's it. Pero la gente te critica por todo. Si estás haciendo algo, porque estás haciendo algo, te critica. Y si no haces nada, pues por huevón, no haces nada, entonces, ¿cómo quedas bien? It's like it's like that deal that comes to your
damn if you do it, damn if you
it's
don't.
like that deal that comes over for Thanksgiving. You ain't got a girlfriend. You're like, ¿no tienes novia, mijo? No. ¿Por qué eres joto o qué?
That's why I had a kid. My parents thought I was gay and stuff. You know what I mean? At the age of
Same
43,
same here, bro.
hey,
You guys saw my post, no? The post, the video I posted about that, about like once you're getting to like 40, your uncle starts to question your manhood. Si no tienes hijos o no tienes vieja.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
of
posted
course,
it.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
It wasn't my uncle, it was my parents at the age of 43, bro. I got
yeah,
questioned.
dude.
They were like, hey, ¿qué pasó, man? Your
You,
friends
you,
have
you-
kids, your brothers have kids. What's going on with you? My
yeah.
parents are hardcore Catholics, bro. Like, we go to church
No
14
wonder
days out of the week.
Oye, güey, por eso no me invitabas a tu casa, güey. Dijeras, Luis es el pinche.
No, and then, but no, I brought a lot of girlfriends home. Don't get me wrong, and they thought that was just a front. But
I got that look sometimes when I come over to your house. I get el pinche Luis otra vez.
Like, trust me, I love kids, and I've wanted kids since I started, engaging in copulation. You know what I mean? And that's like at the age of 15, 16. But I thought I wasn't gonna have kids. Like, that's why I was like, no, well, hey, I use it, Dad. Trust me, But reason for me was that happened during when Magic Johnson came out with AIDS. So we were in high school, bro. They scared the shit out of us with AIDS.
You didn't even want to play basketball anymore,
giving condoms, right? Nobody wanted to play basketball. Nobody wanted to post up anymore. You know what I mean?
I went to the first game that he played when he came back. That was with Karl Malone.
Oh yeah.
Y no se le arrimaba el Karl Malone.
No, they didn't want to shake his hand.
They didn't want to shake his hand. I was sitting right there, dude.
And then he got cut, and then the whole fucking stupidity, bro. But it's that's ignorant, right?
Yeah. And míralo, he's fine.
He's still alive. He's
in better shape than us.
Any of us. But that's what I mean.
Well,
So boy, that we are in a society now where we're learning from Instagram and Facebook, and some things are okay because I learned some stuff to get rid of my tennis elbow through Instagram, bro, and it worked. And I learned how to solve the Rubik's Cube. But other stuff doesn't work, bro. You know what I mean? Like politics, especially with AI, you don't know what's real, what's not anymore.
Yeah.
So, that's why we're doing this comedy show, guys, so you can come and hear what's real, the real stuff that's not censored. They will never censor comedy, and that's what comedians, we laugh at them because they tell us the truth.
Oh, somebody did
Yeah.
ask me, was it kid friendly? I said, well, there might be a couple little
No.
cuss words in there. I said, so, don't bring your 16-year-old daughter. Like, she's called me.
Nah.
She's like, can I bring my daughter? She's 16. I'm like, nah, no le traigas.
Well, if your daughter's 16 and she's a mature 16, bring her.
Yeah.
Like I teach my son, like cuss words are not bad, bro. It's how you use the cuss words,
Right.
and who you're using
Your
them
emphasis
towards,
on it.
But if you're using them as an adjective,
Yeah.
as a noun, or as a pronoun, I don't see anything wrong with saying, "Hey, look at that fucking guy," or whatever. You know what I mean? It is what
That's
it
like
is.
us Mexicanos, right? We come up like,
La morra que
¿Qué onda?
conocimos, güey.
¿Qué onda, puto?
La morra que conocimos last week. ¿Qué hubo, güey?
Ah, sí.
¿Qué onda, güey? Puro güey. ¿Qué onda, güey?
Over at Temple.
At Temple,
Yeah.
right? And así la Ciudad de Mexico, that's how we talk. Puro, ¿qué hubo, güey? ¿Qué hubo, puto? ¿Qué hubo, maricón? Those are terms of endearment, and somehow now they turn into,
especially for men. Those are actually terms of endearment for men.
If they call you puto, that means they really love you, bro.
See, Victor, that's why I call you that.
No, yeah, it's funny because when I used to work at the post office, I used to have a coworker, and I'd be like, "Tu qué, pinche puerca," like, but it was like us clowning each other, Yeah.
And you would laugh, and you would be
Exactly.
best friends forever. Now it's like you look, they're fucking suing you.
Yeah.
They're trying to throw you in prison. They're trying to lock you with DD
calling human resources.
Like calling HR on your ass. They call you Karen. Hey, Karen.
Yeah.
Calling fucking get rid of these people. Calling
Yeah.
ICE now for any fucking reason. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
I want to get pulled over, dude.
I'm waiting for
I'm trying to get pulled over.
That's why I'm walking around Santa Ana, bro. Like,
on my little truck, if you look at the window, those little cards that say what to say and what not to say to the cops?
Yeah.
I fucking taped it right there. So if I get pulled over, I'll be like, look right there.
Estoy
I ain't saying shit.
Estoy mudo. Yeah, but yeah, dude, I'm excited.
That's the other thing that's coming up a lot on Instagram, how people are being stopped and how people are responding to shit like that. You're like,
well, again, there's certain things that are very educational. That's why I'm telling you we have to start FTP again, because a lot of people say, hey, they learned a lot from our show. Remember when we had that discussion during COVID with one side of the non-vacciners and then the other ones that
that one got aggressive, dude.
And but I was amazed. Both groups went and did research, and they had fucking numbers and stats, and that's what we need to do. We need to question shit. We can't just say that everything's real.
Yep.
And that it is what it is, And
so, those were two educated people.
Yes, on
arguing,
both sides.
On both sides arguing.
One UCLA grad,
yeah,
and the other ones were from Laverne or something like that, So, anyways, Juanito, are you excited for Sunday? What's going on, man? You got some good jokes? Tell us, man.
Well, no, you know what? I mean, I'll probably go up at the end, and but I wanted it to be about the people, the comedians that are doing more about them. I mean, because I can go up, but people are gonna expect me to talk about what happened, and I'm not ready right now. So, I'll probably go up at the end and say a few words.
He can say, hey, he's not gonna talk about the accident. Algo así, no, para que no me haga pedo.
Well, no, we're just gonna say, hey guys, the accident happened, and we're moving forward with everything now, and we're just here to help funders get you guys back on their feet. I was inviting folks, and they're like, well, who is it for? And I said, look, these guys are comedians. I've done it myself, and when I did the Pasadena Ice House, I got paid for that. I'm like, damn, this is how much I got paid. I'm like no wonder Juan's Ubering and lifting and shit like that. Doing stand-up for you, it's part of your income, right? Like it's part of what you provide to your family. So when I heard about the accident, I felt like, hey, we gotta help you guys out, at least try to get you back up on your feet, and in case you missed a couple of shows that were going to bring in some income or whatever, that type of thing. That's the whole. And
we
try to help you guys out.
We appreciate it, dude, because not, as you can see, not a lot of people like did anything or said, hey, let's help people out. Even the comedy community didn't do that. So for you to do it for us, like that's why I wanted to say a few words at the end to to show you guys my appreciation because I mean, dude, I mean it's been a real emotional ride, ever since it happened to now. But now it's more of an understanding, and you start to see who cares, who's watching, who really cares about you, and then and
Yeah.
like the friendships that I made with you guys. Look at what it bloomed into, bro. Like because even comics that I've known for years didn't ask me, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, bro, you need help?" Like one or two, three guys asked me, but I was like, "Bro, I don't want you to give me money." But even though I needed it because no me gusta causar lástimas, and that's why I told Carlos I was like,
Right.
let's say more, help us get back on our feet because no me gusta causar lástimas, but I am very grateful for the fact that you thought of doing this for us, So I mean, thank you again, and then and I'll thank you again at the show, and Paul and everybody, and you too, Luis, for being part of it. Like I mean, that's why it's very important to keep friendships and to have good relationships because you
Carlos,
never
Carlos
know
called me
who's
up that we're doing this. I'm like, let's do it.
no, and you guys are great organizers. Ever since I've
Well,
known you, you guys have had. Mhm. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Juan. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, ever since I've
it's
known
like that.
you guys have always had a big network. You guys have had a big network, and and you guys know how to utilize it. So that's why I'm like, I'm glad it was you guys and not just anybody who doesn't have that network to bring in people to help. Because like I said, the comedy community didn't do nothing, and so but you guys did. So that's
Right.
why we're more grateful. Yeah, but
Well, and
yeah,
we also
that's
talked about doing a podcast. You know what I mean, with the
mhm.
comedy, just to talk about what's going on in comedy, and obviously to promote your shows and all that stuff. So that's still on the table. We could
Yeah,
talk about that later.
I've got this thing here, man. I
It's
always
a
tell people,
great
if people
studio.
want to do
Yeah.
stuff, I'm open to that. If, on a date that it's got, like I told Carlos, we have to be consistent. It's just I'm open to people doing stuff here. I reach out to community leaders, business owners, stuff like that. I have them on here, and now we've been doing them in English and Spanish, which is good. And a lot of people that they're afraid to come on. This thing scares them. This camera scares them. Like I remember when we first started, I remember how we were all scared and stuff. And
No, I told Luis, I go, don't worry, nobody's watching. And that's always my
Yeah,
mentality behind this. Nobody's watching, but
yeah.
I think at one point, I mean, we had over 5 to 10,000 views
people were watching this
about 5, 6 years ago, prior to the pandemic.
prior to the
And
pandemic. We were doing good,
we're bringing a lot of good topics, a lot of
and
good
during the
things.
pandemic, we were
Yeah,
giving the COVID numbers.
yeah, we're doing
Us?
the COVID numbers and
Yeah.
just keeping people, updated. Again, and one thing we pride ourselves in is we're gonna tell you the truth, and if we don't, we're gonna correct ourselves, right? We're gonna keep it real. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's what, and that way, when you do get information from us, we're gonna make sure it's coming from the right sources, and more important, that we're giving the right information to our community that's always misinformed. I work with a lot of restaurants, so I was at the Joint House Burger,
Una
doing
hamburguesa,
doing
güey.
the installation, bro, all day long. Univision, the whole day I was there. Univision
Oh,
all day long, and all you hear is Trump esto, Trump this. It's like they're
Yeah, they're
promoting
yeah.
feeding.
him more.
Well, that's what you
Oh,
got going on CNN and and so forth.
yeah.
That's all they got going
Ta-
on, man.
Yep.
There's
hey,
nothing else on
Carlos.
there. Well, you got the
Yeah.
No, I was talking about Univision, and since you mentioned that I do Uber, you know who I picked up last week? I picked up Maria Celeste at Antonio Villarraigosa's
Oh,
house. He ordered the ride for her.
oh, nice.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
you want to keep that private?
Antonio.
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
was gonna say, what was she doing at Villa
You might want
A player.
Villaraigosa's the man, hey, but he's running for governor.
He's gonna run for governor again.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she
Hope he
probably
makes
went
it
to go
because,
interview
hey,
him
that's a
because
good
she
thing
was
to
telling
talk
me.
about these lists and all that.
Yeah, she was telling me that he was who I was gonna vote for, and I was like, well, I was like, I don't really follow that, and she's like, oh yeah, well, Antonio's gonna run for mayor, I think, for mayor, right?
No,
Governor.
no, governor of California. He was the mayor of LA, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, it was crazy. Like I when I do Uber, I get really lucky and pick up celebrities. Believe it or not, dude, I picked up a lot of popular people. It's crazy though. Yeah. So
There you go, man. That's the beauty I've thought about doing that just to meet people and stuff like that.
Meet a lot of good people in the Uber. When I got into the Ubers, I started talking to the people,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, you gas this," and stuff like that, and you start getting, "Oh, so I'm gonna hang on to this,"
Yeah.
and I've gotten calls from that, dude.
Because it's not your
yeah,
normal typical driver,
Yeah.
like cab driver. It's guys like Juan, you know what I mean, that have other professions and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Let me get some
No,
quick
but
shout outs. We got Felly Tech.
Telly
How you
Tech,
doing on the line here, Mr. Cisco Reynoso? What's up, Cisco?
go Clippers.
Go Angels.
Clip.
Hey, he said
Hey,
nobody
we're
gives us credit for that sweep, bro. Everybody's like giving us a
That
hard
was our
time.
World Series, dude.
Sandro Sanchez, what's up, brother? How's it going? Susana Rios.
Susana from Santana.
Yes. Sancho Sanchez is watching.
Oh,
Shout out to
Sancho.
Mr. Sancho. We're trying to get him on, bro, but he said he was a little busy today. We're looking forward to meeting you, Sancho. Come down on Sunday, and for the comedy show, make make things happen.
Yeah. So Sunday, guys, Spoons Restaurant. We made a connection at Mr. Temple. Sometimes people ask me, how come you guys are always networking or all these different events? Because we make connections. And at that place, we made a connection with a guy that does tequila and mezcal, right?
Mezcal, yes.
Yeah.
Rio BB Mezcal, guys. We're gonna be doing a little mezcal tasting from 12 o'clock to 1:30. Show starts at 1:30. So if you want to get there early, it is first come, first serve, ladies and gentlemen. Unless you slip a little Cino to Luis or myself, we'll save you some seats. But other than that, it's first come, first serve. And speaking of Mr. Tempo, I actually text the guy. I invited him.
Oh, we invited him that day.
Yeah, well, he gave me his number that day.
Yeah.
Remember?
He gave us. We said, hey, you want to come and le dio el teléfono?
So I texted, just like, because
Yeah.
I always do that. I text people and invite him, and he responded. He's like, I'll be there. And I'm like, pues, ¿cuántos vienen? Se vengo con tres. So we'll see if Mr. Tempo shows
So
up.
we'll have a OC Biz table for
Yeah,
Mr.
so
Tempo.
we'll have that. Now, if you come with Mr. Tempo, then maybe we'll give you VIP. No, I'm just kidding, guys. So if you guys do want VIP or whatever, reach out to us. Or some assigned seats, we could definitely save you seats. But it is first come, first serve. We got plenty of room, guys. Happy hour from 12 to 1:30 at Spoons. If you haven't been at Spoons, I mean,
Great
how
food.
delicious is the food?
Great food, Mexican food. You've been there, Juan. Food's great.
Yeah.
Try the tortilla soup. Try the fajitas.
The buffalo wings, bro.
Buffalo wings. Yeah, I love the
It's
buffalo.
so simple, but then I only order buffalo wings at Spoons because that's the only place that I really like those wings.
Then they got the big nachos with the carne asada. It's everything's
Yeah,
good.
they got a lot.
Everything's really good.
Really good food, and you go to other places, right? When we've been to the Laugh Factory or the Improv, all they say is cheese sticks and freaking mozzarella sticks. Here you guys can have hamburger, steak if you guys want. They even have one of my favorites, cowboy chili spaghetti.
Oh, I've never had that.
Yeah, so they make spaghetti and they put chili on this spaghetti instead of
shit.
marinara sauce.
I'm gonna try that.
Very good stuff, guys. So
let's try that
really
one. Huh? That sounds pretty good.
But also the cast of comedians. Juan, you want to talk a little bit about the comedians that are going to be there? I mean, I know we have Paul Rodriguez, but I know Hussein and the other guys. They're pretty up there, right?
So yeah, Jose, I've known for years, and he actually started comedy by doing comedy in his backyard at his mom's house in Linwood, and then they started selling pupusas, and then bro, this show caught fire, like yeah, bro, ay pupusitos, yeah. No, but what's it called?
Yeah,
It got so it got no, it got so popular that he continued to do it, and then like Felipe Esparza showed up, like all these famous comedians would do it, and then it just caught wind, and then he took a break from that, and then he went from family, and then he took a break from that, started his little family, and then out of nowhere, boom, viral. So Jose V is gonna be there, real popular dude. Who else is gonna be there? Bebos Rafael is gonna be there. He's opening up for Jeff Garcia right now, but he's a really high energy, really funny up and coming comedian. Who else do we have? Chris Simpson, old school comedy vet, great roaster, great comedian. We have Nishi, that actually helped Carlos get Paul, and Nishi's very funny, very very funny. And then
Yeah,
who else do we have? Um,
trying
then
to
we
find the list here, bro.
Rufus.
We
Rufus.
got Rufus, we got Rafael Ramirez as well, who's going to be on there.
Yeah,
Okay, so we got
yeah,
Jose, Bebos, Rafael, Chris Simpson, you talked about already, and Nishi Excel, Paul Rodriguez, yourself. We added Mr. Rufus and Rafael Ramirez. They're local comedians from here from Santana,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
we're going to utilize to hopefully kick off the open mic at Spoons.
Right.
Yep.
You talked
Yeah,
to Tony
yeah,
about that. We're doing open mic. Boom.
for sure.
So
No,
yeah,
yeah. So
that's cool.
and you never know who else will pop up, because they heard about it. Because
Yeah.
so we'll just wait and see. I think it's gonna be a great night, and I look forward to doing it, man.
And all of this is happening, guys,
Sunday
for $20.
20 bucks
Normally you pay what, 30, $40 at the improv?
at least, and then you got a 2 drink
And they get a
minimum.
2 drink minimum, $20, guys, to come and support a good cause. And most important, come and get a good laugh. I mean, comedy is therapy. I remember when I started doing it 3, 4 years ago, and again, I'm not a comedian by close to it, guys. I have a lot of work, but just having the experience of having to go up there, and it for me is therapy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you laugh at my jokes or not, even though I do get depressed afterwards. But once I'm over the depression and the anxiety, all that, I feel really good about myself. You know what I mean?
It's just like the karaoke week on those.
Yeah.
You got nomás te tienes que animar. Ya
Yeah,
dices
yeah,
allá
you
arriba.
just gotta put courage in it.
Once you're up there, yeah, güey, ya,
No,
ya go.
But it's practice, like I see Juan and I'm like, fuck, like I wish I could do that, but I go, but these guys, Juan's on stage, what, how many days a week, Juan? Like 3, 4 days out of the week?
Well, yeah, sometimes 4 days, and I mean they're not always good sets, but you learn how to minimize the bad sets. You know what I mean? Like after you do it for
Right.
so long, you learn, okay, what not to say, what to say, and not every crowd's the same, so you're not always gonna do. There's gonna be nights where you kill it, and then there's gonna be nights where you do okay. But as long as it doesn't get below okay, you're doing something right. So that's all it is. Carlos is like the WB for like the WB frog. When the cameras aren't on, he's killing, dude. And then like the cameras come on, and he's all
Cricket.
Yeah.
Well,
said
it's good.
yes,
You
I
know
know.
what?
But Carlos says funny stuff. Like he has a lot of like the one joke I like about Carlos. You know what's funny and how I realized this because I accidentally kept my recorder on one of the shows I did with you, and then I accidentally left it on stage, so it got most of your set. So then I'm listening to the set, and I was like, "Oh, let me listen to Carlos's stuff." And then I was like, the funniest one that Carlos is like, yeah, after you get like in your 50s, it's like owning an old car because you start getting all these leaks, you start making weird noises. That's
Oh,
the stuff.
it's when you hit 50 years.
Yeah,
When you hit 50, it's the equivalent of your car hitting 100,000 miles. Shit starts leaking everywhere. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Gaskets are loose. The
El
oil's not
mofle starts
anymore. That
el
type of
mofle
thing.
starts acting up, bro.
The buffet, yeah, the buffet.
Yeah, but nah,
You
dude.
have to step on them so they could pop, that type of thing. Yeah, but we're gonna work on it, Juan. That's why we're gonna do the podcast. That's why we're gonna do all this stuff. Our goal is to get our group of comedians and go on tour. Like these
Yeah,
guys go on tour and have like Nos Vale Madre crew or whatever. I don't know. We'll figure out something.
We
yeah,
always
yeah,
come up with interesting names, right?
The misfits of comedy. I don't know, whatever. But just to go out there and bring comedy to communities that need it, bro. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
there's too much bullshit on social media and TV, and that's why I rarely try to watch either one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm glad for Netflix, bro, because not a lot of bullshit on there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yep.
Nah,
All
nah,
right,
for
so
sure
guys,
though.
remember this Sunday coming up. Make sure you guys make some plans. 12 o'clock for the mezcal tasting.
Yes.
The actual comedy will start at 1:30.
Yes.
And we have 6 comedians plus Mr. Paul Rodriguez coming in, guys. So please come out. $20. Have a good time. Have good laughs. Good food. Good vibes. Just come out and hang out. Plenty of parking at Spoons. You guys know where it's at in Santana, right off the freeway. Come by, support. Be that person that says, "Hey, I came to this event, saw these comedians," and maybe start following these comedians when they hit the big time. And Juan is super, super funny.
I know he's at the cusp.
Yeah.
We know our boy's gonna hit it. You know what I mean?
So he's right there.
We're behind you, Juanito.
Oh, thank you guys. Hey, love you guys. Thank you.
Go ahead, Juan. Sorry.
No. I was gonna say no. I was just gonna say I thought you were gonna I was listening to what you were saying, but I was like, yeah, I love you guys for doing this, But anyway, go ahead, Carlos.
No, we're good, man. Just I want to tell everybody, look, we're doing it on Sunday. It's late enough and early enough for you guys to get stuff done in the morning and in the afternoon, if that makes any sense, guys. You know what I mean? 2 hours out of your day to come and support and have a good laugh and more than anything embellish and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So we're very excited about what's going to happen and hear what the comedians are going to bring to the table. So
yeah,
we're pumped up.
Don't forget, you guys can also pay for your tickets on Carlos's Venmo. But we will be collecting at the door.
We'll have a credit card.
You can do
this, that type of thing.
Get the lotion ready.
No, I'm not.
Well, Oscar, where's Oscar at? Anyways, no, but we're looking forward to it, guys. We really are. We're really excited, and hopefully this will be one of the shows that kicks off a lot of good things coming.
Yeah, we want to bring comedy also to OC, man. We want to bring it.
There's really nothing out here, Juan, if you think about it, besides the improv in Brea and freaking Irvine.
Yeah,
that's it, man. We got to bring it. We're gonna make it happen here
for sure.
All right, man. Well, can we cut him off?
We can cut you. We're gonna.
Are you good, Juan?
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm gonna get ready to clean the house right now. So, but thank you guys for having me, Luis. My family's away in North Carolina, so estoy solito right now. So yeah, but I'm just trying to. Yeah, yeah, guys, I appreciate it. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Thank you for having me, Luis. Carlos, once again, thank you for doing this for me. And I'll say a few words on the day of to thank everybody.
Don't worry, brother. We're here to help, and we're here to help you become a success, brother.
Gracias. All right. Thank you.
Right,
peace.
We'll see you on Sunday.
Bye. Later. Bye. Bye.
Right. Wake up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you guys want to come out Sunday, anything else you want to talk about, Carlos?
No, just that. Just want to remind people to come out and déjale doy saludos to people that are actually watching the show. Thank you guys for taking your time,
checking in with us.
Checking in. Sancho Sanchez, we'll see you at the event, brother. Susana Rios, Luisa, our number one fan. Whatever happened to Rosie Felix? Remember, she was our number one fan for FTP.
Maybe she hasn't transitioned into OC Biz Live.
She hasn't transitioned into OC Biz, but we're working on that. Yeah. So, Susana, Lupe, what's up, Lupe? How you doing? I like that title, Los Cabrones de Comedy.
Los Cabrones de Comedy.
I like that, Lupe. That's not a bad idea. Los
Cabrones de Comedy.
That's why he has his locos. Órale, there you go, Susana. And then thanks, guys, for the gente. Yeah, you guys got to come out, guys, for sure. Susana, spread the word. All the guys.
Invite everybody, guys, to come out. Invite people to come out.
Let's put all the political bullshit aside, guys. Let's get together and let's just help a fundraise and come have fun.
Yeah.
More for you guys. It's really not for us, for you guys.
Yeah. To
come out and laugh. How often do you laugh, bro? Do you laugh every day?
I try to, actually.
Think about that. Like, if you put it in perspective, I asked Rocio that she's like, well, I live with you, so I laugh every day. I'm like, see how healthy you are because you live with me.
Thanks to me, you're healthy.
But if you really think about this, guys, throughout the day, you're supposed to laugh at least 5 to 15 minutes to someone be healthy. If you could laugh more, it's healthier for you. I think we should do some research on that and bring that up.
If you've ever been to a comedy show and when you're leaving the comedy show, you feel
just
good.
Feel good.
You feel good. You've released. There's endorphins and different things that you release. And obviously, especially what we were talking about the administration and everything that's going on with ICE and everything that's going on in our city, in our county, in our state. Let's take a couple hours to just forget about that and take a couple hours to come out and laugh and support these guys that are, obviously, like he said, he's not looking for a handout, but he appreciates everybody that's going to come out and help. Yeah. And, that's what we're all about. And that's why we started FTP, which is for the people.
For the people.
And this is for the people. This is for Juan, to make sure he gets back on his feet. And for Sancho also, I don't know him. You don't know him, but seems like, if Juan knows him, he's a good guy.
He's with Juan. He's a good guy. He's part of los cabrones, como dice Lupe.
Cabrones de comedy.
Los cabrones de comedy. But yeah, we do want to invite you guys. So please, we got plenty of room. If you guys have social media, you're still on Friendster, MySpace, whatever, Tinder, Grindr, what's that? Ashley Madison, Bumble, whatever's out there, guys. Post it. LinkedIn, whatever. Let's get some people out there. Let's support these comedians, and more important, Paul Rodriguez is going to be here.
Yeah, Paul Rodriguez, guys, come out and meet Paul.
He's posted it on his Instagram.
Did he really?
And on his Facebook. I was like, damn. I was like, yeah, dude.
I've seen him a couple of times. He's funny, dude. Yeah, I've seen him. The last time I saw him, I was with Sebastian.
Yeah.
In Riverside. Mm-hmm. And he killed it. He killed it. He was like the last one. He was the headliner. He killed it. So he's funny, and obviously,
the other guys were having Jose and all these guys.
Yeah, these guys are good.
She had a really good set. She just gets funnier and funnier. I tell her the more kids she has, the funnier she gets.
She has 2 kids now, huh?
So I go, you want to make it to Hollywood? You're gonna have to pop 10 kids there, Nishi. I'm just kidding. No, but serio, it's gonna be fun, guys. Really good stuff. Any other events coming up then?
We got AISS coming up on Thursday.
Right. This Thursday,
This Thursday.
What time?
It's 5:30 to 8:30.
Shoot. Okay, yeah.
AISS
I gotta go get a haircut. Okay.
You're coming, right?
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah. I gotta.
So if anybody's interested in coming to AISS, reach out to us, and we do have the ability to get some tables, some complimentary tickets, but you have to go through us. If anybody's interested in helping kids out in Santa Ana in the community STEM program. Science, technology, engineering, and math.
It's a hidden gem, Luis, that I wish somebody would uncover and just blow it up and make it a countywide or statewide program where you get these kids, these brilliant kids from Santa Ana that, I remember this young girl I was privileged enough to meet. She lived in a 3-bedroom home. It was a 3-bedroom home with like 20 people in the home.
Oh, wow.
But this young girl was a 4.5 GPA. I didn't even know you could have a 4.5, bro. That's how sharp. And her goal was to go to Harvard. But she kept scoring low on the SATs because when she was trying to try studying in a home with 20 people on a 3-bedroom home. She lived in a little, you guys would cry if you guys would see this, but what I was astonished with is the little girl's perseverance to not give up, not to use it as an excuse, and to still have a 4.5 GPA.
Yeah.
And I think that little girl ended up going to Stanford. I gotta ask Debbie about that.
Yeah. Well, we have a 99% graduation rate, and the one person that didn't graduate actually.
Wait, 99%?
Yeah, the one person that didn't graduate, he has a business right now.
Okay.
He has an engineering business.
That's Carla's husband?
No sé si digas nombres, güey.
Oh, no, Sean. But no, but dude, these kids have a big time engineering school, and they have a cumbia band and the wife.
Salsa
and then
band.
The wife, she plays the violin.
Yeah.
Really good.
And she'll be there too if you guys want to meet Carla.
Phenomenal kids that come out of this program. So.
And some of these kids, there's the biggest one I can say is there's one kid that came out of Santana who went to MIT, who ended up working at NASA.
So he went to MIT. MIT hired him as an ambassador for MIT, and now he works for NASA.
Yeah.
Yeah, another very brilliant guy that came out of Santa Ana High School.
All right.
And was discovered through AISS. So if you guys want to come out and find out what it is and how it really helps, and normally it's 20 kids, 30 kids?
I think we have like 30 kids right now.
30 kids. But imagine if we have 30 kids from each high school, that would just be even more impactful and get these kids to.
And not every kid can get into AISS.
Right.
You have to be
certain standards.
There have to be certain standards, and the teachers are the ones that recommend them. They still have to go through an interview process, and then they're accepted into the program. So if you see these kids with the blue jackets, you guys can come and shake their hands and talk to them, because these will be the future leaders, future bosses of people like me and Carlos that can give us a job. So that's why I'm always super nice to these kids, because they're really super smart.
You know me, I'm always talking to students, right? Yeah. So it finally came to the fruition that I was not a good student, bro. I had really bad study habits. I was a C. When I really apply myself, I'm there, but I don't apply myself a lot, right? And I'm being brutally honest, man. That's gonna translate to your job, your career, your business, whatever you do in life, guys. You know, so if you're still in junior high school, or even college, and you have the opportunity to develop good study habits, good discipline, do it, because all the people that I work for, they were all 4.0 they were all nerds.
Yeah.
They're all my bosses.
No, your bosses.
They are, dude. I have a young guy he's 43 years old. He's my boss. You know what I mean? Because he was an A student, you know. Well, I didn't want to take the position, but that's a whole different ballgame. But, you know, and I realized that, bro. Like, I go, man, I'm like, why? I'm like, I'm like, yeah, I don't have that discipline of doing notes. I got by just on my wits, but, you know.
It can only take you so far.
If you have wits, but if you have discipline and structure, man.
And you got to be organized.
And you're organized, it's going to take you way further, guys. Like,
you got to be organized.
Like, that's very important.
And even when people go to school and they get degrees and stuff like that, you still got to continue to learn, because there's everything is changing. And, you get that degree, and, sometimes kids, and I've experienced this, as kids go get that degree, but they don't have that experience. So you need that experience, and the people out there need to understand that somebody walks out with a certificate. It's like, I had a friend of mine that he got his real estate license. He had no idea how to sell a house. He had no idea how, because
he got his license. Yeah. They don't teach him that?
No.
They don't teach
They just want you to pass the test. That's it.
They don't teach him
so there's no apprenticeship and all that stuff. Once you get your license, then you go work for a company. But here's the thing. So you sell the house at 100% of the commission, you get like 30-40% in those first couple of deals until you learn.
Yeah.
So what's up?
You're making money for somebody else.
You're making money for someone else. So it's an evolution.
Just give me an idea, bro.
Yeah.
You can start teaching people how to sell.
Selling is, that's the number one thing. You know that. We're all salespeople. We're all selling each other.
It's if you have a young child, women or girl, boy, whatever. Sales. I always say sales. Teach them sales, because there's always going to be a job in that, right? Like you ever heard of a salesman get laid off?
If you're making sales, then you're not going to get laid off.
And there's no secret sauce to it, guys. It's sales. There's a rhythm to it that if you follow that rhythm consistently, you will crush it out there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So AISS event. It's here at the Santa Ana Elks Lodge, 5:30 to 8:30. We'll have a live auction, silent auction. Come out and meet. Like I said, we call these kids scholars,
future bosses, guys.
We call these kids scholars. So come out and meet the scholars. We will also be making a presentation for the Scholar of the Year.
Oh, there you go.
And we have a sponsor for that, and we have 2 juniors that will also be given a scholarship, modest scholarship, for them to continue to next year. So this is something brand new that was brought up. So we're doing that this year. So come out, hang out. We'll have some great food. Like I said, there will be plenty of chances.
Great people.
Yeah. And if you get a complimentary ticket from us, please just participate in the auction, live auction, and stuff like that.
Bring your credit cards, guys.
Bring your credit cards. And this is also a fundraiser. This is fundraising for these kids.
I think if you bring $50, with $50, there's a lot. It goes a long way, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum. I think $50 gets the kids the calculator they need.
Yeah.
To do calculus, because now there's a certain calculator for that, for calculus.
Yeah.
So any amount helps, guys. You guys got to come check it out. But most important, the kids that you're going to meet, the stories behind it. Who's the keynote speaker this time?
our mayor.
Oh, Valerie Mesco is going to be there.
Our Senator Mayor,
Yes.
Valerie Mesco,
Yes,
will be.
definitely,
She's our
yeah.
keynote speaker. So that's another thing. You guys want to come out and meet Valerie?
Yeah.
Good friend of the show.
Yeah.
She's been a friend of ours for a while. Come out and talk to her. Shake
Yeah.
her hand and set it at where she's at a place where she can just talk to you about certain things.
Open door policy.
Yeah, open door policy. Maybe make a connection with her if you ever need to talk to her or have an issue at the city. It's all about
Here's your opportunity.
It's who you know.
Yeah.
All right. So don't forget, Thursday, 5:30 to 8:30. Reach out to us if you're
yes,
interested in doing any tickets here. So it'll be
Last minute. Sunday, June 8th. Ruben Alvarez sent me a message. Hey, bro, I think you have the wrong address. What do you mean? The wrong date.
For what?
For the event.
We have the wrong address?
The wrong date.
We do?
He's saying, well, that's what he said, right? And he's like, it's the 9th, right? I'm like, the 9th? What are you talking about? No, he was just in another world, I guess.
I'm like, now I'm concerned.
No, I was concerned too, because I'm like, wait a minute. I looked at the calendar because I do get confused with which S is first, the Sunday or the Saturday.
It's the 8th,
right? I know. But Ruben was like, hey, you're wrong. It's the 9th. And I'm like, dude, whatever you're smoking,
pásala.
I'll smoke it with you.
Whatever you're smoking, pásala para acá.
All right, guys. That's
it. That's all we got.
We'll see you guys AISS or see you on Sunday. And then look forward to some more FTP shows coming through in the near future, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys soon.
Out.
Don't forget it, for the people.
Mm-hmm.
Peace y amor.
Puro amor, una hora.